In Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird, Boo Radley is one of the most enigmatic and ultimately profound characters in the novel. Although he remains physically absent for much of the story, Boo's presence looms large in the imagination of the town, and especially in the minds of Scout, Jem, and Dill. Boo serves as a pivotal figure who shapes the children's understanding of human nature, morality, and compassion. Through Boo Radley's role in the narrative, his symbolic meaning, and the broader implications of his character, Harper Lee critiques societal prejudice, explores the journey from innocence to maturity, and reveals the profound human need for empathy and understanding. Role in the narrative. Narratively, Boo Radley begins as a figure of childhood superstition. To Scout, Jem, and Dill, Boo is a phantom-like character shrouded in mystery and fear. The children imagine him as a monstrous recluse who only comes out at night, crafting elaborate stories about his supposed malevolence. Early in the novel, Boo functions almost like a mythological creature, an unseen force that fuels the children's games and dares. However, as the story unfolds, Boo's true character is revealed subtly and gradually. He leaves gifts for Scout and Jem in the knothole of a tree, mends Jem's torn pants, and ultimately saves the children's lives when Bobule attacks them. These quiet acts of kindness demonstrate that Boo is not the terrifying figure the children once believed him to be but a gentle, protective presence. By the end of the novel, Boo's transition from a source of fear to a figure of salvation mirrors Scout's journey from ignorance to understanding. When Scout finally meets Boo face to face, she recognizes his humanity, culminating in her profound realization that understanding people requires seeing things from their point of view. In this way, Boo serves as a crucial catalyst for Scout's moral and emotional growth. Symbolic significance. Boo Radley functions as one of the novel's most important symbols. He represents the idea of the mockingbird, the title's central metaphor. According to Atticus, it's a sin to kill a mockingbird, because they do nothing but provide beauty and joy to the world. Boo, like the mockingbird, is innocent and harmless, yet he suffers from the cruelty and suspicion of society. Boo also symbolizes the consequences of societal judgment and isolation. The town of Maycomb ostracizes Boo based on fear and rumor rather than truth. His reclusiveness becomes a shield against a community that misunderstands and maligns him. In this sense, Boo reflects the broader theme of how prejudice, whether based on race, class, or difference, can dehumanize and destroy. Furthermore, Boo embodies the theme of childhood innocence and the loss of that innocence. For much of the story, the children's perception of Boo is colored by their fears and the wild stories circulated by the adults in Maycomb. As they mature, Scout and Jem come to see Boo not as a monster, but as a fellow human being who has quietly suffered and loved in his way. This shift reflects their broader understanding of the complexities of morality and the recognition that people cannot be judged solely on rumors or appearances. Broader implications. Boo Radley's character carries broader implications about human nature, societal injustice, and the need for compassion. First, Boo challenges the tendency to categorize people simplistically as good or evil. Much like Tom Robinson, another innocent victim of Maycomb's prejudice, Boo is wrongfully judged by a community unwilling to see past its fears and biases. Yet Boo's existence and ultimate heroism reveal that goodness often hides behind misunderstood or marginalized exteriors. Secondly, Boo's life serves as a commentary on the destructive effects of isolation and societal exclusion. Boo's father and later his brother confine him to the Radley house, depriving him of social interaction and freedom. While Boo chooses to remain indoors later in life, his initial isolation is imposed upon him, a poignant reflection of how societal fear can imprison those who do not conform. His story raises questions about a society that punishes differences and stifles individuality. On a psychological level, Boo represents the resilience of the human spirit. Despite his isolation and the town's cruelty, Boo retains his kindness, courage, and capacity for love. His acts of protecting the Finch children reveal that compassion can endure even in the harshest conditions. Harper Lee suggests that empathy is not only a moral imperative but a powerful force for healing and connection. Boo Radley also broadens the novel's exploration of the idea of moral courage. While Atticus represents active moral courage through his defense of Tom Robinson, Boo exemplifies quiet, unseen courage. Saving Jem and Scout required Boo to leave his safe, confined world and face the town that had so cruelly judged him. His silent bravery stands as a different but equally powerful model of heroism. Finally, Boo's story serves as a blueprint for the novel's ultimate moral lesson: the importance of seeing the world through other people's eyes. Scout's final reflection, standing on Boo's porch and imagining life from his perspective, crystallizes the novel's call for empathy. In understanding Boo, Scout transcends her earlier childish fears and steps into a more compassionate, mature worldview. Conclusion: Boo Radley is a pivotal figure in To Kill a Mockingbird, serving crucial functions within the narrative, symbolically embodying innocence and misunderstood goodness, and carrying broad social and moral implications. Through Boo, Harper Lee critiques the destructiveness of prejudice, the dangers of isolation, and the essential human need for empathy. Boo's transformation from a figure of fear to one of kindness mirrors the Finch children's journey toward understanding and compassion. His silent but powerful presence reminds readers that heroism often resides not in grand gestures, but in quiet acts of kindness. That true moral insight requires looking beyond surface appearances to the humanity within. In this way, Boo Radley stands not just as a character within the story, but as one of its enduring moral centers.